Welcome to my fourth and final video log for March 23rd. These video logs have been super fun to make, in all honesty, and I hope I get to do something similar in an assignment within the future. So, starting off, I'd like to recap what we've been up to these past few weeks. We learned about the works of Susan Sontag in the context of rough theater. As we know from Peter Brook, rough theater plays often have a lesson. They try to make you think. They have all sorts of signals for something to think about and to spark discussion. These types of performances are in sharp contrast to deadly theater. Susan Sontag often incorporated progressive ideologies within her performances without being didactic. In doing so, she was able to help educate audiences on social issues which would be most likely neglected by the demographic of her time, thus making her work a prime example of rough theater. I acknowledge the importance and relevance that rough theater can have on a person's development. However, I've come to realize that the performances that have impacted my life the most are the ones that I often refuse to visit or revisit. One of my favorite films is Uncut Gems, directed by Josh Safdie. It is an extremely nerve-wracking film and serves as a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of greed and addiction. Despite how much I enjoyed this film, I can't rewatch it. There's something about being shown such a tragic reflection of reality that is too uncomfortable for me to experience again, regardless of how impactful it was. Other than rough theater, we also explored absurdist plays. We learned that absurdist plays have no plot and exist as a statement on the meaninglessness of small talk and everyday language. Human beings are dominated and ruled by our language. Absurdists look at language and question what is real. An example that we used in class to describe this genre of performance was Oscar Wilde's quote, "Before Turner, which was a painter, there was no fog in London." I find the concept of absurdist plays interesting, but a little pretentious. I like the idea of a performance that isn't tied down to a coherent narrative. However, this isn't very hard to achieve. Anyone can write something nonsensical and try and pass it off as deep or as a commentary on the futility of conventional storytelling. However, an absurdist performance that I find particularly valuable is Eraserhead, directed by David Lynch. This film draws its strength from its surrealism and its lack of plot. The absurdity of the film creates a cosmic horror dreamscape atmosphere which complements it perfectly. So, to conclude my video log, I have one last inquiry moving forwards. Human beings have a fixation with unconscious mind. Both holy theater and absurdist performances attempt to blur the reality by drawing an audience away from their understanding of the world around them. If rough theater exists to teach about the physical realm of existence, does rough theater actually hinder one's ability to establish a connection with the divine? Thank you for listening.